If you don't have one, we've got one over here on the table. We want to, yeah, that's it. First, we'll, let's see, secret greeters. Before we do that, though, I'd like to introduce our guests, and they're from SSVEC, as well as SSVEC is a corporate member of this club, and is represented in Michele McCollum here. So, Michele, if you'll wave the group there, and everybody will welcome. I believe that Laura was instrumental in getting the membership of SSVEC many years ago.
Yeah, it was like, who was before you? Because a couple of my kids' mother worked down there, and so she got it.
Well, we're glad to have you here, Michele. But our guest speaker this morning is also an SSVEC. A good friend of mine is Jack Blair. He's the director. He's in charge of member services for the whole SSVEC, and we're glad to have him. He's going to speak this morning about they had a trip yesterday at the ACC, Arizona Corporation Commission in Phoenix. And we got Mr. Meckler over here. We're glad to have you this morning. Your first name again?
Ralph.
Ralph, I apologize. Okay. We're glad to have you. Marge Carruthers, I know, she's got, so we're a little bit short today, and then Ray's gone. Secret greeter.
I think, okay, who is here first, you or Fred? Don.
Mr. Townsend, did everyone shake your hand?
No, Michaela. Well, no, Michaela's not a member yet. Ralph, are you a member yet?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
those two.
Doesn't pay to come late.
Everybody else.
It doesn't pay to come late.
It doesn't pay us to come late.
All right. Well, that's a good choice, then. Happy Dollars. You ready for that,
I'm ready.
Miller? First one we'll see is, okay, go ahead.
I
Yeah.
had a wonderful trip to Tennessee. I saw a friend I hadn't seen in 4 years. She used to live in this area, and she loves Tennessee. So that it was wonderful to see her happy. But I do love my Arizona.
You go to Nashville or?
Knoxville, Maryville, Gatlinburg.
Glad to have you back.
I went to Townsend also. Townsend, Texas.
Townsend, Texas.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
28.
Never heard of that.
So
Where's that close to?
It's right
$30
outside
for-
the gate to the Smoky Mountains.
That's 28 right there.
Okay.
oh, okay. But I mean, $30
Right.
for the.
There you go.
Fred?
I wanted to say that I'm very happy that my wife has available to her a new shot called Epi-Shell, which is pure antibodies. Because of her leukemia, she can't make antibodies. And so when I caught COVID on the 1st of June, she caught it on the 5th of June and had less of a problem than I did because of that shot. And she just got her booster this weekend.
Any more Happy Dollars out there? Miss Kathy?
This is for the Key Club, Buena Key Club. We're getting ready to support the haunted house down at the old desk for Don. And I got a lot of good kids this year. And I got the fraternal order of police to change some of the rules because you had to be 16. Well, that destroys the Key Club because I got a lot of freshmen and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. This is for our guests here today because I know Jack has to put up with a low light Marcus, so he needs financial support.
Kathy, please.
First I want to thank, let's see, who was it? It was Ray, Steve, Laura, that came out to the Sky Island, our rest stop out here. For those of you that aren't familiar, don't remember, we did the Sky Island rest stop on the last one on 62.5 mile ride across the street from San Pedro. We had a number of Buena students out there, some Cats Key Clubbers. Also want to thank Don for being such a great partner in that. We went shopping, We had fun with that, and then we set up, we stuffed everything in his vehicle, he mixed up all the drinks and everything. So I appreciate all the support that we had on that. And again, just another great day to be in Kiwanis.
Yes.
Any more? Anyone else?
Show your dollar.
Sabine? Okay, I'm sorry, we'll go ahead.
Over there. Walt.
Walt, go ahead.
I went on vacation in September, spent a week up in Northern California. Found some pictures that I like to watch. They printed out metal, sheet aluminum, which they didn't turn out really well. Anyway, spent a week up there, went around Crescent City, Willow Creek, Eureka, Fort Bragg, a whole bunch of different places. It was fun.
He did this in his brand new trailer. Woo! He had his first trip with his brand new trailer.
Yay.
In that, and he didn't kill the animals in the trailer. Because Addie and Kirk got
Is
to
this
go
an
on their-
add-on dollar or something
Yeah.
we're getting now?
Addie and Kirk got to go on their first trip.
So Kirk stayed in the truck, and Addie, I put her in a trailer because she kept whining. And the first time I found her in the bathroom sink. The second time I found her in the kitty box.
Oh.
And then the third time I found her in the pillowcase, between the pillowcase and the pillow. And she wet on the pillow.
Oh, no.
Good cat, good cat.
She's ready to
Typical
say
cat,
that.
you're right. Now we'll go to Sabine over here, please.
I got $2 happy. Rob's birthday party was awesome. We had family there for the whole week. We haven't seen in a little while, so it was wonderful spending time with them. My second one, in 3.5 weeks, I get to see my side of the family. We're heading to Germany.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Peter's ain't in, I guess. That'd be great.
Okay, who else out here? Anybody else? Before I get mine out?
I'll give $1. I appreciate Jack coming today and Michelle, and just being in part of this organization. So you want to go now? Don, you have another one you said?
Yeah. On your Sky Island tour, she said I mixed a drink. There was some kind of energy drink. I think it was D, wasn't it? D. Well, I opened it up and I was going to mix it the way they said it. I smelled that stuff and I said, there ain't no way I'm drinking that stuff. So I made it half, and it was pretty good, but it didn't sell very well. It was free, obviously, but it didn't go over. So I'm not big on energy drinks. I just drink water. But that was a challenge. I did that the night before. If I'd have waited the morning of, I'd have never got out there in time. Because it took a long time to dissolve. So don't drink heat, H-E-E-D.
Remember that.
That was free.
Laura, you have a,
Okay, just a second, let me get that.
just as an add-on to Kathy's comments, on the NAMI, I rode in an event on a 20-mile. It was different from the one that Don and Kathy had on our little station there. But I did wear a Kiwanis shirt so we could be represented out there. There was 2 stations out there represented by the Rotary clubs. So at least we had some presence out there, especially on the highway of San Pedro now.
And Bisbee does the one at the top of the divide, the Bisbee Club, so we had 2
Oh,
clubs.
they had one, okay, that's great.
I'm getting your change here.
Okay, well, while we're waiting,
And then, okay.
I'll tell you, we'll let Michelle explain these right here. Those look like a little Happy Dollar gift, so I'm not sure what this is or how it works. So Michelle, it's all yours.
So these are phone stands. They're really handy to either bring with you, or if you're one of those people who cooks in the kitchen, they're really handy to set up in your kitchen so you can have your recipe on there.
Oh, okay.
But they're also nice because they fold flat for traveling. You have to push it the other way. Whichever way you think to push it the first time is wrong. That's always how it works out. But we just thought those would be a nice little giveaway. We appreciate all of your support.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right, appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
okay. All right, so I'll do my happy dollars. I think I need another one.
dollar did it.
Okay. See, the first happy dollar is last week, I think it was. Sarah and I went out to the Herald's Best of Sierra Vista, and so we came away with 2 awards. We came away with 3rd place for Olympus, which I'm really not sure how that one is. But we came away with 1st place for the #1 nonprofit of Sierra Vista. So that's for that. Okay, and this happy dollar is for the Angry German restaurant.
Yay.
And you can see on the wall that they got 2 awards. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This one is kind of a happy / not so happy, in a manner of speaking. Last Thursday down at the pantry, we packed 200 family bags last Thursday. And so I'm happy that we are there to be able to provide the food for the students
One more.
of the county. But I'm sad that we have that many bags that would be packed. So that. Okay, this is a dollar that technically our Kiwanis Club has Peaches Pantry as a project. Because I asked, several years ago, I asked for us to have it as a project because of the amount of hours that I put in for Peaches Pantry, that volunteer hours, that I'd like for us, to get credit with Kiwanis International. But, one of the things that is driving me crazy is the amount of food that I have to keep buying every week, and trying to make it where I get the best buck for the dollar. Then I'm going 3 or 4 times a week shopping. One of the things I am doing right now is harder on me. Is like, for example, I go to Walmart's to get the canned vegetables, because at Walmart's they are 58 cents a can. At Fry's, it's 89 cents a can. So when you multiply that by 400 cans a week going out, then by going to Walmart, it saves me about $400 a month.
Wow.
And same way as spaghetti. Walmart is 92, Fry's is $1.25. So I get spaghetti at Walmart. So that saves me a couple $100 a month on just those items. So if anybody would like to help, sometimes maybe once or twice a month, if you'd like to go help me shop, because I can only pull 2 baskets at one time. And so when I have a helper, I can get like 4 or 5 baskets of food at one time. So that's less trips for me. So there for helping me if you're able to help me shop. I appreciate it. And this one I'll just throw in.
Yeah, all right. We appreciate all the happy dollars, and I know it contributes to the funds there. Go now to, what's the next, marble game. Are you ready over there, Patrick?
We have $38.
It was 16 before and 34. So.
So 40. So we have
I think it's $50, isn't it?
How much?
50.
$50 for the winner.
yeah. And I will have
Michelle.
I will have Michelle draw. And Ron, you could explain it better than I can.
I think we all know what the raffle is. We put get 50% for the winner and 50% for the founder of the club. Is it the foundation, I believe, Fred, or Bruce, or does it go to the
Admin.
Half goes into admin, half goes.
Okay. So, get a drum roll. Michelle, give us the last 3.
2, 6, 4.
That's not for me.
Say it one more time.
2, 6, 4.
All right. Our treasurer.
My first one.
First one, how long, Bruce?
So now Bruce gets to select the dark marble, see if he wins.
Dark
No.
marble. Cat eye.
Cat eye marble.
Cat eye.
That hand, son.
One with the edges knocked off.
Oh.
Bye, Rose.
What a
Wasn't it?
shame.
So we can't say Bruce is a loser, but
No.
he is.
No,
I'm a non-winner.
He's helping support the pot by letting it grow.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the pot up.
One of the moment,
Snap it back in.
last at the installation, we gave this to Ray for his last year, as well as getting married and all his other leadership. So he's brought this over to me last night.
You got a trophy for getting married, huh?
Had him an email. I said, what do you recommend? And he said there's someone that's helped very much in sorting out all the children's books that we have, all the reading books. And we do the children's reading programs, we well know. So Lorraine, it's all you. We appreciate you doing that. Congratulations.
Oh,
Thank you.
just bring it next time. Put on your shelf for you.
I'm going to pass out 3 flyers, just you can pass them around, just information from the Joint Service Club we picked up last week. It's just, I also sent an email to all of you, those on there, just as an assist. And one other, the dues, if you want to talk about the dues for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Basically, the annual dues are due again. So it's $160 for the year or $40 per quarter, if you can do it that way. We are taking checks or cash, and then unfortunately I forgot to bring the square today. So we won't be able to do the square, but there's also, I sent everybody an email about how you can pay with Square. Just bring your card in if you need to, if you forgot to bring cash or check. So,
Thank you, Bruce. So do your dues, right?
do your dues. They're actually due.
And one comment Ray had asked about was the Meyer Builders Club. Or K-Kids, okay.
Okay.
We need an advisor up
Yeah, no
there to
problem.
help out. Lauren, you want to mention anything about that, since you were the advisor?
Okay, I've had the K-Kids at Myers for the last several years, but last year they said that, they didn't want to do it because, coming out of COVID and everything else, and, with my other K-Kids and my Builders Club and everything else, I just couldn't take it on this year. And so Ray is wanting to see if they can get it going again. He was going to call Valerie to see if she was wanting to be advisor again. And if she didn't, he says he's going to go talk to the principal to see if anybody else at the school. So right now, don't know if, that they want to come back and be a club again. So what he's looking for, if anybody's willing to be the K-Kids advisor out there. I think the Post changed the rules that any of the after-school clubs have to meet every week, and so that would be like a commitment every week, and then you decide on what day. School gets out like 2:40, I think, out there, so it would be right after that the club would meet. So right now it's still, seeing if they want to continue and come back and be a K-Kids or not. So that's kind of the long and short of it.
Well, thank you. That's a better explanation than I had. So if you do, or if you are interested, let me know or let Laura know. We can tell Ray. He'll be back in another week. And one final comment as far as I have This will be considered hopefully at the next meeting we have, the 27th of October. I've gone to PDS and looked at an initial contract for the honors breakfast, which will be in the second Saturday in May of next year. And the prices, as you all know, and everything has gone up. And they're looking at right now of raising our meal cost from about, what we had at about $18 to $22. And that's for each person. Plus there'd be a $200 room charge, which is, they've reinstituted it, plus a $75 service charge and sales tax and whatnot. So we, just as an estimate, if we have 80 people, which we normally have 80 or more, the whole bill would be $2,655. Significant amount of money. But we have the honors breakfast, which we do every year. We did save some money this year on scholarships. We had $5,000 the board set aside, and we were only using $1,000 for each scholarship. And Monday night, I will go to Buena High School and I will give out information to students at their career and college night on filling out applications for our scholarships. So anyway, we'll talk about the honors breakfast at the next meeting. So without any further ado, we're going to turn to our program, and we have Mr. Blair, like I introduced him to you earlier, and Jack's going to talk about some of the programs at SSVEC. Like I said, they just returned from the ACC meeting yesterday for a request to help improve the capability for generating quick electricity. And we have searches here, and now I'll turn it over to Mr. Blair. So welcome Jack Blair, if you would.
Oh, wow. I'm so good.
Thank you. I'm going to go back just a little bit. So, electric rates. So, what happens is when we do this, we have to have a full rate case. It costs us $1 million, and you know we're not a big company. It cost APS probably $40 or $50 million to do one of these things. We have a consultant. These people are all PhDs and Master of Science and Mathematics. So we just do a big data dump, and then they put it in the right pot, I guess. And then it goes to the Arizona Corporation Commission, and then they said, yes, these are the rates, or no, take that one up, lower that, okay? One of the things that they do is they set a price for the cost of power. So in our instance, that was set in 2005. And they allow us the latitude if we are under-collected or over-collected, then you get a bill credit. If we're under-collected, then we'll raise it. So for the last 5 years until just about this time last year, you're getting a penny credit. So several things happened, and I think you know what happened in California. So the first thing was they had all of these devastating fires, a lot of which were caused by improperly maintaining electric lines. And you went, boy, how did you do that? Well, the state told them, this is what you have to do. And it was put in a lot of renewables. We're not anti-renewable, by the way. And so there's only so much money to go around. And by the way, the state didn't claim any credit because, you know, they're making them spend over here. So anyway, they got that fixed, and I think you remember how many fires and things like that. They were also closing their conventional plants at a really rapid rate. And then all of a sudden, you read 2 years ago and a year ago, California had to institute rolling blackouts. So there really was not sufficient power. And so what you do is you take this section of the state out for a couple of hours, and then you take that one, another one out, you bring this one back in. And so, needless to say, the governor wasn't too happy with this. So he said, well, here's what I'm going to do. There's a lot of big transmission lines that go through California. And they're carrying mostly hydropower, but they go down to companies in Idaho, New Mexico, Arizona gets a little bit, Colorado, all of those count on that electricity. After all, they've signed a contract, right? So the governor said, no, I'm gonna stop it here if I need it, and I'm gonna give that to California. So we just kind of chuckled, that's not gonna happen. The Federal Energy Regulatory Committee will step in and say, no, that's not right, you can't do that, there's contracts here. Guess what happened? They did it. So there was then a cascading effect. So even though we don't get anything in power from California, short stopping that to somebody else caused a big shrinkage in the amount of electricity available. Because now, if all that's cut, you're having all those states compete. Well, they're competing against the ones that we had a really good contract with. So what you've seen is prices go up, 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 and up. So on your electric bill, you will see a spot. It's over on the right-hand side. There's a little column of numbers. It's called Fuel and Purchase Power Adjuster. So a year ago, you were getting a penny credit, then a half a penny credit, and no credit, and then a half a cent, and we've kept raising it. So it's now a 3.5 cent adder. Now, because, oh, and by the way, we're supposed to stay within a band of 3 million to 3 million. So what we've decided to do is we actually could have raised prices like other utilities did, just take them up. We decided not to. So we're technically out of compliance with the Arizona Corporation Commission. We're $10 million under collected. But we don't think we should go out there and just significantly jump bills. So they're going up a little bit. We think we're going to take it up one more time, another half cent, and then I think we're on the road to recovery, because at one time we were $12 million over collected. So just for that. So that's what you're seeing on your electric. And everybody in this, every utility in this state is really concerned, and we have meetings, planning meetings. We were hopeful, with any kind of luck, we could get through this year. And looks like we did. Next year, though, we're not nearly as confident. And 2024, we're not confident at all. So that'll be, there's not enough power. It doesn't matter what you pay. So I will tell you that we've had a whole bunch of meetings here. We call it a load curtailment plan. So we've always had one. But that's how we're going to curtail power. So yeah, these people are going to go off and these people are going to go on. And by the way, it's an advantage if you live on the same circuit as the hospital, because we can't turn them off. So we've run through it now, and I think last time we ran through it was 16 years ago, but now we actually rehearse this quite often. Now, there's a couple of things that are going to help here. The first thing is, well, we have planned and signed a contract, and we should have had a large solar power plant online this May. Well, after we had signed it, the company got sold. So we're calling them up, hey, you didn't sign the contract. Hey, can you hurry up and sign the contract? Hey, we're ready to go. Well, we changed our mind. We're not going to do it. So we went back to the second and the third and the fourth place finishers, and they'd already moved on from us. They're doing their own. So we then started the process all over again. And in Pierce, we're going to put in a large solar plant with some battery backup. So what that battery backup is, typically the peak is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 or 8 here. So we can fill that, if the sun's shining, we can fill that during the day and then use it during those key peak hours. So that should be, we're having the groundbreaking next week, so that will provide some assistance. The other thing Ron alluded to is there was an important meeting and a vote yesterday at the Corporation Commission, and we were actually concerned about how the vote was going to go, because I don't know if you've heard about this before, but Salt River Project, second biggest utility in the state, mainly up in the Phoenix area. They went in and said, hey, there's a shortage here, and we have to have power we can rely on. So we want to put 300 more megawatts of quick starting gas power. And that allows you to do a lot of things with renewables you couldn't do. And they are actually not subject to the Corporation Commission like we are. But the Corporation Commission does have to approve something called line siting. So they voted 4-1 to turn them down. 2 of the commissioners said, as long as I'm living in on this, we will never, ever, ever build any kind of a fossil fuel plant again in Arizona. Right? So just background. So we have a power issue too. We don't have enough. We've had to go to the open market. When you go to the open market, your choice is we buy it and you keep it power, or we don't buy it and we take turns taking everybody out of power. We kind of think people want power. So what APCO, which is located up around Wilcox, they're putting in 40 megawatts of gas turbines. And that'll do 2 things. That plant over there, the youngest piece of equipment on the plant, is 30 years old. The next, 40 years old. 50 years old, and finally 60 years old. So they're using that. These new gas turbines use considerably less gas. So what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to run that one, and we're still going to keep the older ones around. But that will also help us. We shouldn't have to go out to the open market anymore to buy power, which is where your cost is. Because if need be, we can turn on some of the older ones. So we won't need to be on the open market. The other thing that APCO's doing is they are commencing some solar projects with battery backups as well. So we know that eventually, and I can't put a date on eventually, but I might live to see it, it'll have a place where renewables, that's how your power is. But until you can find a way to store really huge amounts of electricity for long periods of time, you're still going to need gas backup. And there was an interesting point yesterday with one of the commissioners, who, by the way, is one of the ones on the record. I'll never let another fossil fuel plant. So Michelle's smiling because she remembers who was there. And it's a little give and take. So the commissioner said, well, you're going to borrow $72 million. How's that going to affect rates? How much are they going to go up? Well, they're not going to go up. No. You have to. You've got interest in principal you have to pay. That's got to take your rates up. No, it's not. And the reason it's not is because they are not having to go on the open market. And sometimes this stuff, I mean, we had 6 weeks ago, power was 5 times the highest we paid. So they're not going to have to do all that. And it's going to allow them to put in solar, which actually does cost less, but it doesn't work all the time. So they were kind of explaining, and saying, no, it can't be right, okay. How much more is this gonna cost? It's not. It's actually gonna save, no, it can't be right. And so that went on for a while until finally the chairwoman goes, no, I understand it, we'll move off that question. So that's the good news. That should be in place early 2024, which is we think is the bewitching hour. So in the meantime, I think I told you that we had breaking ground on a large solar and battery plant. As soon as we get that up and going, we're going to go to work on another large solar and battery backup. And APCO's going to do the same. So that's kind of where we are in the electric market. We do think prices have stabilized, but then you just read, and remember, it's not the same oil that we use, but you know, Saudi Arabia's cutting production. And you know, by the way, a few years ago, we were an exporter, now we're an importer. So there's that. And one other thing that Michelle said to cover is we have, it's probably not a day that passes that we don't have somebody call us and say, hey, these people in the SSVEC have just knocked on my door and they said they worked for you and want to do solar. Or sometimes we find out about it when somebody calls us. Usually they're irate at Michelle because she's my buffer here. And a great buffer too. So they call in and their solar system has been actually installed on their roof and it's been up there for quite a long time. So the person who installed it, it's Sulphur Springs and you know, their competitor, they aren't in a hurry to do this. So when they come in or call in, Michelle looks up and says, we have no record. So you're supposed to put in just a reservation so we know when it's there. And then she'll call the city. Hey, got this person at this address here. They have a building permit? No, there's nothing on file. So that's a nice way of saying we have a lot of people who have no clue what they're doing, going to people's homes and selling it. And by the way, at the end of the contract, it says anything that the salesman said, yeah, we're not obligated to do. So, you know, that is an issue. And my neighbor up the street, you know, we don't have many moves in our neighborhood, but neighbor up the street, went, met him, works on the fort. Then I noticed there's solar panels going up. So 3 months later, I said, okay, I'm gonna make a conscious effort when I see him to ask. So it took me about a month. And I said, so, how's your solar system working? And he goes like that, and I said, they didn't tell you it was us. Well, they did. But he went in looking for me, got Michelle. Michelle went right on there and said, you gotta have no reservation here. Then sent him the forms that are supposed to be filled out and sent a copy to him online. And I will tell you, it's 6 weeks later, and they haven't done anything more to the house. And the odd thing was they had trenched about a 3-foot trench, and he goes, you know, what is that? I go, I don't know, but looks like they cut your Cox cable. They did. So there was a back and forth over who's in charge. Was it Cox Cable has to pay or the solar company? And that took 3 weeks to resolve. So I'm following the trench down, and I look at it. You know what this is, don't you? Yeah, that's my phone box, or the phone equipment. So said, you know what that is? Yeah, that's Cox. You know what that one is? West. Why would they be digging? That has nothing to do with solar. So we just caution people. We do have something on the internet where you have an option. You can go on there, fill in your data, or fill in what the installer does, and it will tell you. It doesn't tell you yes or no, but it'll give you an idea. Hey, this is how long it'll take to pay. You should make, over 15 years, you should be breaking even and all of that. But we also have a number of people that are shocked when they get their electric bill. Because the solar guy says, you won't even have an electric bill anymore. Well, they get an electric bill, and it's pretty big. So they'll come in, initially mad at us, but we take them through what the solar, and said, you're paying $120 a month for a 30-year lease, and right now you're getting $80 of electricity, and you're losing $40 a month. So just be on the lookout. So I have some of these if you want to look, and with that, I'll open it up to any questions that you have, snide marks, and any windows. Yes, sir.
I called in about a week ago. We have a light in our neighborhood right by my house. I haven't been working in about 4 months. After Cox came through and dug big holes in our concrete street, put new cable in. So I don't know whether that's the problem, but it's an SSVEC pole, a light pole. And it's not working. It's been working for over a month.
All right, if you give Michelle or I know you probably don't know the phone number.
Yes, I do know the phone.
Give it to Michelle.
If you give that to one of the two of us, we'll get in contact with our folks that do that and get it fixed.
Okay, great.
So Jack, my understanding is ACC did approve the
If you called about a week ago, I think they're on a 3-week delay on those right now because they have a list that they're working through. Just so you know, but I'll be happy to take it and check.
The question was that they approved it. Yes, it was a 3-2
But I'd be
vote.
happy to check on it.
And I will tell you, we started a large campaign to help APCOs. And we had over 850 people write in support of the project. But not only that, we had 25 of our members across the service territory go all the way up there to Phoenix to learn how the ACC works. And when they were coming back, I asked them, and they said, yeah, it's kind of like making sausage. You really don't want to see what goes on there. So anyway, that passed. So we're all set, and they've actually done a lot of work, hoping it would pass. But it was kind of scary there for a minute. But one of the things that even the people that voted no said, boy, I've never got this many letters in support and nobody against it. And the 3 commissioners that voted for it just gushed on and on and on about how nice the letters were. A lot of them, and I checked docket control, they're not the nicest letters in the world, but and all of our people spoke really well. So, do I have time for one more quick thing?
Go ahead.
One of the things that we had meters that were 15, 16 years old. And by the way, the company decided it was no longer going to support these older meters. So we had to convert, and we have installed all new meters. So that has a lot of advantages. First of all, our folks, when there's an outage, that device or meter that you have actually sends a message back saying, hey, I'm out of power. So those all come in, and we have a computer screen, so we can sit there and look and see where all the outages are. Now, remember in the old days, you had to call in, and we'd have to plot these. Now, it's instantaneous. Here's where it is, and not only that, the computer's programmed to say, I think you should go here, because that's where the problem is. Because a lot of times we have guys in the middle of the night shining lights, trying to figure out what's wrong. So now that automatically alerts us, and we're able to go to the right place, and we also have it on our website. So if you have an outage, it's just ssvec.org, right down there towards the bottom, it's outages. So you can go look there and you see current outages, and it'll have a little map. And by the way, we decided, we're not going to make it street by street, house by house, because that's telling, it won't be long before bad people are logging in there, seeing who doesn't have electricity, so they can go maybe get some of your items and leave with them. So, but you do see, a big blue dot, or they're various colors depending on what sizes that they are. And so that's great for us. We're fixing them really fast because we know where to go. The other thing, and it's probably going to be a couple of months, you will not even have to call. Right now you don't have to call. But if we have your cell phone on record, we will be able to text you saying, yes, we know your power's out, and an update, yes, your power is still out, and we expect it to be restored by such and such time. So there won't be any more of calling in and getting frustrated because we only have 15 lines in there, so you get dropped, your phone on our side rings forever and ever and ever. So, and when we do that, we're going to get a big campaign. And we already have a lot of cell phone numbers now, but we want to try to get everybody who's got a cell phone, so that way you can just keep up to date.
What grid are we on? What grid are we on? Like, don't they do grids by regions? I just remember hearing about it like in 2003 when the weather got like 3 degrees and we lost power. And somebody said the reason was
I think you lost
because
gas, right?
Yeah, gas.
Yeah, that was gas.
Gas. Yeah, and by the way, the grid's interconnected, so we're connected to the western grid. There's a Midwestern, and these are the great big humongous power lines. Texas is their own island. So that's good news and bad news. And the bad news, I think you read earlier this year, that they had problems with their gas plants, and it started a ripple effect. So, and then there's the northeast grid, the southeast grid, so we're there.
Yeah, I just remember in 2003 when it went out, people said it's because Sierra Vista is connected to the grid and we had to share.
That was gas.
That was gas.
Yeah.
I don't think electricity's ever.
Anything more?
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just real quick. I called in to Michelle. I'm having a problem with my solar with Tesla. So she gave me a lot of good information, and it would be good to have the customers know that they can review the contract before they go solar with you all to see if it's, and I highly recommend everybody that wants to go solar or whatever to do that so that they won't get stuck with 16 weeks of not having solar panels working.
No guarantee.
We do advertise that
Right.
every place that you can go online or call us up for an appointment.
So, thank you.
I'm getting that hook thing.
Jack, we appreciate it. I did send an email, by the way, to the ACC on your support for the,
Yes.
and I sent you all a copy, and hopefully it had some impact as well. But we also, as we all know, give out a book in recognition of your presentation today. So we'll have both of you to sign this as well, and what school you will present this to, we'll take it, but it'll be put there in the school library in one of the elementary schools. So I'll have you to sign that. If you would, and if you put the date and put also your title there, Michelle, you do the same. So we appreciate very much you coming, and we definitely appreciate the electric company here. We have a great electric company, as we well know. We appreciate y'all coming today. Michelle, you're going to have to show me how this thing works again.
We went through one once.
If you look on the program also, it talks about installing Don Townsend. I think there was some oversight, supposedly, and he was not officially installed. We're going to hold that until Ray comes back, if that's okay.
I thought he was already
And if
installed.
he doesn't come back 27, we'll probably put it in.
Yeah, I don't
All right.
He's a regular. He need
Roberts
to be
Park,
installed.
I'm taking care of Roberts Park right now, and birthdays and anniversaries, now we're to the point. Fred, will you tell us how old you are and what you're doing for the club today?
81.
81.
So, and what are you doing for the good of the club?
Still breathing.
He presented a check today.
It's his birthday.
For 81.
Yeah, I gave $81 to the administrative fund to help kids stay positive.
So we like to recognize that. We appreciate that very much. Fred's the one that started the birthday monies. I remember back when he was president. That was 30 years ago.
Wow.
And that's why we're still contributing to that. Now we've increased it also for anniversaries. So Fred, how would you like to recognize your, you get his attention, Don?
Let the dinosaurs sing? No, I'm just What's your birthday?
Fred,
Oh, wait.
okay.
He's got to take care of the light there.
How do you want your birthday, say?
How about nicely?
Nice.
Don't throw sugar bags.
That's sweet.
Sweet.
Lead us in a nicely sung birthday greeting there. Nell, can you do that, or
No.
you can't do that? She won't do that?
Fred, lead us in a nice way.
Fred, you can lead your own song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fred. Happy birthday to you.
You can tell we're missing the Conroy lead on that. We've also got another birthday, Kathy Bunikor. Kathy, can you tell us anything about your birthday?
It's coming up.
It is coming up to 28.
It's one of those
It's
birthdays?
coming up to 28, so actually it's going to be the day after the next meeting,
That's
so we're
right.
going to postpone our
That's
celebration.
excellent.
Like Jack Benny, she's stuck
You
in
will
30
be here, we
minutes.
hope, or are you on another trip?
I'll be on another trip.
Well, we got to sing now then.
Let's do it now, then. How would you like it, dear lady?
Oh, let's just do it any way you all want. I'll throw it out there for you all to do.
Uh-oh.
Everybody decide how they want to sing it, so
20-part heart.
to me, get us started.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The next two recognitions, we're showing 30 years she joined in October the 1st. Kay, 30-year member.
30 years, wow.
That's 3 decades.
That's a long time.
A great long time, and also a great recognition of the service you give. So, let's welcome Kay, or we'll celebrate her and give her a hand.
Yeah.
We don't swing for those, I guess.
Happy anniversary.
Of course, you see where Chuck Carlson is 5 years, and Steve Conroy is another 30 years.
Wow.
We'll get him when he
Bill,
comes
Bill
back.
brought us both in.
Okay, I think we've gone through the calendar, and is anything else for the, what anyone to bring up? Okay,
I got shafted and
then
everything.
we'll go to the quote of the day, Patrick.
7 simple sins are love without word, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, commerce without morality, science without humanity, worship without sacrifice, politics without principle. Frederick Lewis Collins.
It's almost like a book reading. Right. I've never heard that one before. I've heard the seven sins. Our Kiwanis pledge then. Walt, will you lead us in the Kiwanis pledge? It's been a while, hasn't it? Been over here.
That's right.
As our
Country's flag signifies purity, power, and justice. May we as true Hawaiians
And
serve the children of the world.
We want to thank again Jack and Michelle for coming today, and we appreciate them as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
We appreciate all the good service they give. With that, we'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. And our gavel, by the way, is in 2 parts.
Oh, no.
I don't know what it's been glued to. So we're going to try this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works.